So, you're a doctor in aesthetic medicine. You've poured years of your life into creating something truly groundbreaking, a new product, a new service. That makes you more than a practitioner. You're an innovator. But here's the thing, innovation by itself, well, it doesn't guarantee success. This explainer, this is the marketing playbook you've been missing, built just for your brilliant idea.
But let's get right to it and talk about that frustrating reality so many of you are living. You've built something incredible. Maybe it's a patented serum, a new diagnostic app, or a whole new clinical protocol, and you believe in it 100%. And yet, crickets. It's just sitting there. Maybe it's underperforming, or maybe you haven't even been able to launch it at all. If that sounds painfully familiar, I want you to know you are not alone, and the reason is almost never what you think it is.
Because here's the brutal, honest truth. Up to 95% of new products fail. And in the beauty industry, which is notoriously unforgiving, the reason a product fails is rarely because of its quality. No, it's almost always a mismatch between what your amazing product does and what the market actually cares about. So we're going to break this all down with a really clear roadmap. First, we'll look at why great products fail. Then, we'll cover 2 mindset shifts that are absolutely crucial. After that, we'll figure out your innovation type, tackle the 5 big killers of adoption, and finally, lay out a smart, actionable launch strategy for you. Okay, let's make this really concrete. I want you to meet Dr. Sophie Reeves. She's an aesthetic physician, and she developed this brilliant AI-powered app for personalized skincare. It's designed well, it works, and for 6 months, she's been completely stuck on how to actually bring it to market. Her story is the perfect case study for the problem we're going to solve today. You see, Dr. Rive's core problem, and I'm guessing it might be yours too, is that she's using the wrong playbook. The standard marketing you use for your existing services just doesn't work for something truly new. To succeed, you have to make 2 fundamental shifts in how you think. And this first shift, well, it's absolutely critical. Your challenge is not awareness. People already have skincare routines, right? They already use apps. The real hurdle is that the advantage your product offers is completely unknown, and it is your job and only your job to prove it. And this brings us to a concept called relative advantage. All it is the clear, compelling answer to your patient's unspoken question, why is this really better than what I'm doing right now? Seriously, I want you to just pause for a second and ask yourself, can you answer that in a single sentence? What would make a patient use your product one time and think, wow, I can never go back? If you don't have that sentence nailed, you need to find it before you spend a single dollar, a single euro on marketing. And here it is, the second huge shift. The single most expensive mistake you can make is treating marketing like it's the last step, something you just tack on after the product is already built. Because by then, all your assumptions are baked in. The new way, the smart way, is to use marketing as a design filter right from day one, constantly checking that you're building something people actually want. And you know the best part? This is actually really simple to do. Before you go and build a major feature, just interview 15 or 20 patients. Ask them about their frustrations, and then use their exact words to shape your product and its message. Here's a pro tip. Try writing the marketing copy right now. If you can't write 3 compelling bullet points that would make a patient excited, then the product itself isn't ready. All right, on to our third section. This one is all about a critical strategic decision. You have to know without a doubt if you've built a radical innovation or an incremental one. This one choice is going to determine everything: your budget, your timeline, your entire communication strategy. And this table just lays it all out perfectly. An incremental innovation, like a faster formula for a mesotherapy treatment, that can launch in a few months. The message is simple: same great results, just one less session. But Dr. Reeves's AI app, that's radical. It needs a whole new behavior from the user. Her goal isn't just to compare, it's to educate the entire market. And that takes a much, much bigger budget and a timeline of at least 6 to 12 months just to get some initial traction. Okay, so even if you get the big strategy right, there are 5 systematic barriers that just kill adoption, even for the most amazing products. But the good news is, once you know what they are, you can design a fix for each one right from the very beginning. Barrier number 1 is a lack of perceived value. Your patient looks at it and just doesn't see why it's better. The fix? You have to make your relative advantage tangible. So instead of saying personalized skincare, you say, in 3 weeks, your routine is personalized to your hormonal cycle, your environment, and your skin's current state, not some generic type. You feel the difference? Next up is perceived risk. Your patient is thinking, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm just wasting my money? You have to hit this head on. The most powerful way to do that is to completely de-risk their decision. Offer a free trial, a freemium version of your app, or a no questions asked money-back guarantee. Make it a no-brainer. Barrier 3 is the incredible power of habit. I mean, you're asking patients to change their daily routine, and that takes effort. So your job is to make adopting your product ridiculously easy. For Dr. Reeves's app, that means the onboarding process has to take less than 60 seconds. The goal is always, always minimum friction. Now, barrier 4 is a big one in our field. A general distrust of technology for something as personal as skin. Patients might be skeptical of an algorithm telling them what to do. The fix is to lead with your credibility. It's not just an app. It's a protocol built by Dr. Reeves, refined by data. Your expertise is the anchor that builds trust. And finally, what if your product falls into a category that just has a bad reputation? Maybe other skincare apps are seen as gimmicks. The solution here is to reframe it. Don't even call it an app. Call it a digital consultation program or a personalized protocol service. You need to distance your product from that negative image. Okay, we have covered the diagnosis and the strategy. Now let's talk about execution. We're going to outline a smart, effective way to take your innovation from just a validated idea to a product that can actually scale up. First things first, you have to understand who you're launching to. Your very first customers, we call them the early adopters, they only make up about 2.5% of the market. They love new things and they'll put up with a few bugs. But your actual business, your revenue, that's going to come from the early majority, the 34% that comes next. And they need proof, they need testimonials, and they need simplicity. You need a completely different message for them. And that is exactly why a big, splashy mass launch is so risky. A progressive launch is so much smarter. Start with a warm, trusted audience, your existing patients. Get feedback, get testimonials. Then expand out to a few partner clinics. Only after you have documented results should you even think about approaching wider channels. You've got to build momentum, step by step. The golden rule here is simple. Don't guess, test. Before you invest a ton of money in inventory or a big campaign, you need real signals that people actually want this. Set up a simple landing page and take pre-orders. Add a join the waitlist button to your website. You can even run a simple price sensitivity test. These are all low-budget ways to see if people are truly willing to open their wallets for your solution. We've covered a lot of ground, so let's make it super practical. Here is your 5-step action plan for this week. 1. Write that single sentence of relative advantage. 2. List your top 3 adoption barriers and the specific fix for each one. 3. Design a simple, low-cost demand test. 4. Identify 5 key opinion leaders. These are respected peers whose endorsement would build instant credibility. And 5. Make the final call. Is your innovation radical or is it incremental? And that brings us to the final and most crucial point. An innovation doesn't create a market all by itself. You do, through smart validation and communication. So I'll leave you with this question to get you started. What is the one core assumption you have about your product that you can design a simple, cheap test for this week? Go find that answer.